station they're on. So welcome to the Cooking Essentials with Rosalie Elliott. I'm a doTERRA Blue Diamond, and I am saying this twice now. For those that heard it the first time, I'm sorry to repeat, but I wanted to make sure that with the recording that everybody knew that I'm here to share with you some great ideas about using essential oils in your food recipes and how you can use them, and a little bit goes a long ways, and it's going to be exciting. I'm not the best cook. I do know how to cook, and I cook once in a while, but with adding essential oils to my cooking, I tend to do it more often, so that's a good thing. So I want to mention at the beginning of this webinar that we do not treat, diagnose, or cure anybody, and we are not intending to do that, and the FDA has not evaluated these things to let us be able to say that. So just know that we try to remain very compliant, and also with the disclaimer that I'm showing here, also with the slides and the information that is from this company, Synduit, where I get these great webinar informational slides and information to share with people. The information comes from a lot of doTERRA wellness advocates, which we pool all of our resources together, which is an awesome part of our company, but they're not intended to be used other than by those who pay for the service. So just putting that out there, along with the disclaimer about the FDA not evaluating these, and they're not to be used as, those kinds of things that would get us in trouble compliantly. So thank you again for joining me. One of the reasons that I love doTERRA is because of the way that we do our resourcing of the oils. And we're going to go through a little bit of that. And why that's important to me is because of the quality of the oils makes all the difference, especially when we're talking about eating and putting essential oils into our food. One of the main reasons that doTERRA has the best quality, it's the largest essential oil company in the world. We have over 6 million of us that enjoy using the essential oils. Over 71% actually of those 6 million purchase month in and month out, which is awesome. And because of what we deem co-impact sourcing, where we source the oils from all over the world, from the areas where they indigenously grow, we are able to harvest them at the proper altitudes, the right climate, the right seasons, the right soil. And with that, we get to end up with a far superior essential oil than the rest of the world. So it's really awesome that we're able to do that. Plus, we're helping in those communities where we're getting these essential oils. So this is where doTERRA's commitment to purity begins, with the co-impact sourcing. Another reason why I love the oils is because of our certification process. It's called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and this is really, really important because we want to make sure, and that's what this third-party testing does, that there's no fillers, no synthetics, no dyes, no pesticides, or no contaminants of any kind that are going to adulterate our oils and make them good for our bodies. So we want to make sure that they are unadulterated and they're grown by experienced farmers to make sure that we have those quality oils. doTERRA stands by the promise of purity, and each and every batch is third-party tested, so you can be confident that not just it's going to be pure, but it's also going to be potent. And we got to know that a little bit's going to go a long ways. I'll probably say that a few times during this webinar. Now, this is Dr. Hill. He's the Chief Medical Officer of doTERRA, and he has an amazing video about the quality of our oils, the Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade, and I'll be happy to send you that link. It's also on YouTube, so it's an easy find, but I do have a link for that, and we don't take time out of the webinars to play it, but it is an amazing way to learn about the quality of our oils. Another reason that I love doTERRA, there's so many reasons, but it really is making and has made a positive impact in the world. We have the Healing Hands Foundation, and this is doTERRA's nonprofit organization, and it's committed to improving lives through partnering with organizations that offer hope to millions around the world. The Healing Hands seeks to bring healing and hope to the world. It helps those live lives free of disease and poverty, and ultimately empowers impoverished communities with the tools needed to become self-reliant. doTERRA covers for all the overhead and administrative costs of doTERRA Healing Hands Foundation, and that means that every time we're giving to Healing Hands, 100% of all donations go directly to being received for AIDS. So it's awesome. And there's great videos on the Healing Hands Foundation that I can direct you to those also. Now, no matter if I invited you to this webinar or somebody else, you'll want to make sure that you go back to the person that invited you so that you can get all of your questions answered. If they don't know, you can always ask me, but we like to send people back to the people that invited them. So it's really important to do that because we all like to work together, and that is another great thing about doTERRA and helping one another. This co-impact sourcing that I was talking about, in addition to supplying the highest quality essential oils, doTERRA is also committed to making a positive difference in the lives of the farmers, the harvesters, and the distillers who contribute to our oil production. Another great video on that, on the sourcing, and they have a lot of different videos that can show you the different areas where we get our oils from, and you can watch like the lemongrass where it comes from, or some of the frankincense where that comes from. So it's really amazing to watch that happen. The Source to You site is one of our newer websites, and it's amazing. You can get access to the quality reports on the exact oils that are in your home. So there's a really great video on that too, and you can look at sourcetoyou.com and get lots of information. You can input those numbers on the bottom of your bottles. The newer bottles from the last year, those should all be updated in there, and get that report on the quality of the oil. So that's pretty awesome. And I know I'm probably preaching to the choir with some of you because you already have said yes to doTERRA, but I want to make sure that I help reinforce this decision with you, that doTERRA is so amazing and it has brought us together today, and I truly believe that doTERRA rocks in so many ways in our lives. There's three main ways that we use the essential oils, and the first way is topical. So if you have anything in the body areas that needs support, it can reach the bloodstream within 20 seconds, and the oils actually are distributed within the body within 20 minutes just from putting it onto your skin topically. It's best to dilute our oils in the fractionated coconut oil, and that can avoid skin sensitivity, and always dilute for children or people with this sensitive, thinner skin. A lot of times when people are aged, older aged, they do tend to have thinner skin, so you want to be careful to dilute things down because they are concentrated, pure essential oils. They don't have things, fillers in them, so you want to dilute down with the coconut oil. And also, a great thing about using the coconut oil is that it actually helps it absorb into our body much more quicker. And the bottoms of our feet, our hands, and our ears are great places to put the oils, along with the back of our neck or along the spine. Aromatically is the second way that I love to use essential oils. And at the end, I can give you a view of my office here and show you the diffuser going. It's gorgeous, the Lumo diffuser that doTERRA has. And once you start diffusing essential oils, you're going to say, wow. I mean, you can just put a drop in your hand and inhale that and get benefits of that because it's going to go to your limbic system, talk to your brain, and it's going to help decide where it needs to send it in the body. But diffusing the essential oils can help everybody in the room. It can help with respiratory functions, and it can definitely help with the mood. So if you're looking to change the crankiness in the house, consider diffusing some essential oils. Now, the third way that we use essential oils is internally. And remember, doTERRA is the only brand of essential oil I would trust to use internally. I hope you'll agree. So don't assume that it's okay to use any brand of oil internally because the purity of it is what matters. And if safe for consumption, the bottle will clearly be labeled with the supplemental facts and approved for internal use. Once you're assured of the quality, you can add 1 drop to your water or tea. And I like any of the citrus oils. Grapefruit's my favorite lately, though. 1 drop of grapefruit in my water. And it really helps me to drink my recommended water daily, and it helps in the cleansing of my body. So that's an awesome way to use it. So up next, I'm going to share some important information on cooking with essential oils because that's why you all came on here. And so I'm really excited that you're on here to listen to some of the cooking ideas. I'm going to go through a lot of recipes and different ideas. And again, it's copyrighted, yet if you want the recipes, just message me later and I'll get you some of that information. And I'll also send everybody who registered for our webinar, because a lot of times it doesn't work into people's schedules, and that's fine. I record the webinar so I can send it out, and I will be sending it to everybody who registered. So you'll be getting it. And you can listen for the recipes that way too. So one of the many reasons why people incorporate essential oils into their recipes is because of the simplicity of adding 1 to 2 drops of a specific oil, so pennies per drop, versus spending time chopping and slicing. But it is also extremely important to use essential oils the right way so that you can experience the health benefits while also avoiding overpowering your meals with flavor that are too intense. Remember these 3 words and you'll be all set. Convert, dilute, and delay. Okay, so convert. Remember that the essential oil is a concentrated portion of its original source. Like 1 drop is like 50 to 70 times more potent than the herb. That is very concentrated. So a good rule of thumb is to use 1 drop of oil to replace a teaspoon of a specific ingredient in your recipe. Now diluting it. That was the second one. Convert, then dilute. Another thing to remember when cooking with essential oil is that they should still be diluted into a lipid first. This not only keeps us safe, but it helps to ensure the oil and flavor gets dispersed throughout the whole dish. For savory recipes, dilute into a bit of olive or coconut oil, stir it, then add it to the recipe. For sweeter recipes, you'll want to use honey or syrup. They can work very well. Now the third one was delay. So we had convert, dilute, and then delay. For hot recipes, wait until the end of the process before adding the essential oil. These are called volatile oils for a reason. They're relatively fragile and will dissipate quickly in high heat. So we don't want to dissipate them. We want to have them stay and flavor our dishes. Okay, so here are my top 10 cooking oils in no particular order. Okay, the number 1 is lavender. Since this oil is considered one of the most gentle to use, I recommend including lavender in your desired flavor if your desired flavor is delicate and floral. And I've had lavender brownies and they are amazing. So just saying, that's a really good one and it's very delicate. Okay, so the second one I'm going to talk about, remember these are not in order, is peppermint. Okay, this is one of the most popular oils to cook with because of its cool and refreshing flavor. Peppermint is linked to increased level of energy. So if you add a drop to your next brownie batch, you might have an extra pep in your step. And I know at one time doTERRA put out a recipe for the black bean brownies. And some of our team in Alaska, they added the peppermint to that and it was amazing. So ask about those recipes too. Those are great ones to have on hand. Now, the third one is all citrus oils. So whether you use lime, lemon, grapefruit, or even tangerine oil, you will enjoy these oils in a variety of recipes, especially smoothies. The wild orange is also an awesome one to use in a cream cheese frosting on a carrot cake. Just saying, I've had that too. It's amazing. The fourth one is bergamot, and although this oil has a citrusy flavor, I want to highlight it separately. Try bergamot in scone recipes and treats to take advantage of its excellent pairing with mild flavors. And if you do that, remember to invite me over. Thank you. Thank you in advance. The fifth one is cinnamon bark. Cinnamon essential oil works very well in sweet dishes to replace powdered cinnamon bark. Think cinnamon French toast or an extra cinnamon boost in cinnamon rolls. But it is extremely important to dilute properly to protect sensitive membranes and to only use a drop or 2 for a recipe. And if it's a 1-person recipe, you might be wanting to use a toothpick first, dipped into the cinnamon bark oil. Also, a drop in my coffee or hot beverages can be amazing. I've tried that many times. I love it. 6 is cardamom. You can use it and cinnamon bark as part of a chai flavor blend or in any spice flavored dessert or treat. You can also use this oil if your desire is to add a warm flavor touch to meat dishes and main courses. 7 is ginger. You can add ginger to sweet treats like ginger snaps, gingerbread, and spice drinks. You can also try it in sauces for savory dishes like stir fries and marinades. 8 is thyme. And remember, 50 to 70 times more potent, these herb ones. So thyme, as a savory flavor, you can add it to main course dishes, especially when meat is involved. The herbaceous flavor blends well into soups, stews, and baked goods as well. And remember, when you're adding them to the hotter dishes, you want to do it towards the end when things are cooling off or going on the cooler side. You still want to eat it at a warm temperature. You know what I mean? Okay, so 9 is fennel. And I'm going to warn you that this oil should not be used daily or in excess, so it really should not be for the beginner cook. But once you feel ready to add a drop of this oil to your dish, you can get really creative. Some ideas include savory marinades, soups, sausages, and various ethnic recipes. And then the last one covered on here is cilantro. This is one of my all-time favorites. You can use it where you would use cilantro, such as in salsa, dips, and savory cuisine, and it is definitely an amazing flavor. Feel free to share any oils that you have experienced in our chat box. You can add if you've added any to your dishes, and we can add those to the list of things that people can learn about. Up next, I'm going to share several favorite recipes from the doTERRA blog. And you can find it on doterra.com/us/en/blog/recipes. But you can find it if you search in the doterra.com website. Okay, we're going to talk first about cumin rainbow salsa. This is so good. And don't let this dish fool you. Its beauty not only lies in its colors, but also its taste and health benefits as well. Isn't that awesome that we can eat awesome food that tastes amazing and we can still receive the health benefits from doTERRA essential oils? It's awesome. This also gets compliments, and it's actually relatively simple to make. It has 3 Roma tomatoes diced, 1 jalapeno pepper seeded and diced, 1 red bell pepper cored and diced, an orange and a yellow bell pepper cored and diced, and a can of black beans drained and rinsed. 2 fresh corn cobs where you cut the corn off the cob, 1 cup of chopped fresh cilantro, 2/3 a cup of chopped red onion, 2 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lime juice, half a teaspoon garlic powder, 1 drop of cumin essential oil, C-U-M-I-N, that's one of our oils, 2 teaspoons salt, and of course you're going to need some tortilla chips. You combine all of the tomatoes, jalapenos, peppers, black beans, corn, cilantro, and red onion in a large bowl. And in the separate bowl, you whisk up the lime juice, garlic powder, cumin essential oil, and salt until it's combined. And then you pour that juice over the salsa and toss it. And then, of course, serve it immediately because nobody's going to be able to wait. Or you can cover it and save it in the fridge. And the recipe is online again, so you can get it. How about this one? Dark chocolate ginger waffles. For sure, if you're going to be making this one, please invite me over. I have not tried this one. This one has cake flour, whole wheat pastry flour, unsweetened dark cocoa powder, light brown sugar, baking powder, baking soda, coarse salt. It has 3 eggs in it, 2 cups buttermilk, coconut oil, vanilla extract, almond extract, 1 medium zucchini shredded, the smallest shred possible. Isn't that odd? But that sounds amazing. That was the health part, the zucchini, and 2 drops of ginger essential oil, and real maple syrup, of course, for topping. Get it from Ohio. That's the best. You want to preheat the oven, put it on a baking sheet on a wire rack. You combine a bunch of the different ingredients, the flours, the cocoa brown, the dry ingredients, and then you whisk everything together. And then you make a well in the center of that where you pour in the egg yolks, the buttermilk, the liquidy things, the extracts, the ginger essential oil, and you mix until just combined and lump-free. Then you mix up the egg whites until stiff peaks form. I'm thinking of the white peaks being foamy, but till they form. Make sure the bowl and beaters are super clean so that the egg whites fluff up properly. Add the beaten egg whites to the batter a little bit at a time and fold them in gently. I'm sure some of you are excellent cooks and you can just whip this right out. And then you shred the zucchini and fold it into the batter. You use the waffle iron. You can stamp out desired shapes if you want. You can transfer it to the baking wrap then, keep them warm before you're going to serve them. But all in all, they said on this recipe that you can even serve it with Greek yogurt ginger almond whipped cream, and there's a link for that too, and real maple syrup. I mean, it just sounds amazing. So if you want to do this one, please, please, I'd like the invite. How about this lazy avocado sushi? This looks amazing too. It is like an exotic and easy after school snack, and it can be quick or it can be elegant. So it can be any way you want to dress it up. But it has avocados, brown rice, soy sauce, rice vinegar, ginger, essential oil, there's our oil, sesame seeds, and then essential oil variations like lemongrass, lime, wild orange. They also suggest that you can top it with different toppings because you're making it into this sushi, right? You can top it with raw salmon, tuna, or yellowtail, cooked shrimp, fresh pineapple, fresh mango, coconut shavings, thinly sliced lemon or lime, a fish sauce, or peanuts. So there's lots of different variations you can make this in, and serve it up at your next get together and impress everybody with the wonderful flavors of essential oils in it. So there's the recipe online for that one also. Of course, because we want you to have them and use your oils for them. How about ginger shrimp and mango skewers with paleo crema? Oh, that sounds so good. This one has the marinade, actually has the shrimp and the olive oil, red pepper flakes, a full lemon's worth of zest, cloves of garlic, ginger, lemon. Who's hungry now? I am. Then you can use some fresh cilantro and sea salt and ground pepper. Then your skewers are going to have the mangoes, and you're going to soak that for at least an hour before grilling so they don't burn. So you put all the marinade on the shrimps and the mangoes and have that just soaking in there for an amazing amount of time so that it tastes flavorful. And then the crema, it says, is a half a tin of full fat coconut milk, all of the juice from the zested lemon, 2 drops of lemon essential oil, because remember that comes from the rind, cold pressed from the rind, so it's a different flavoring than the juice part, salt and pepper to taste, 3 heaping teaspoons of fresh chopped cilantro. Then you can garnish with fresh chopped cilantro if you want to do that. That would be nice. And then it gives all the ending of the recipe. You can add greens to it and slivered almonds or cashews, and create it into a lovely salad instead of doing the skewers. So for your summer barbecues, though, that would be a wonderful treat to have. Now, this delicious summery dish is packed with powerhouse ingredients and will give you the nutrients you need with the flavor you love. So that sounds amazing. You'll need a spiralizer for this recipe. And if you don't have one, then you can Google it. They're online. They're on Amazon. I know we've gotten one before, so they're pretty simple to find. This one takes frozen butternut squash, coconut oil, yellow onions, cloves, a sprig of fresh rosemary if you want, full fat canned coconut milk, vegetable broth, sea salt, a pound of tomatoes diced, salt, some 3 pounds of zucchini, because that's what you're going to be using to spiralize, and your rosemary essential oil, freshly ground black pepper to taste, or you can use even the black pepper essential oil if you want, but you're going to have to use a toothpick for that because freshly ground black pepper to taste is very little of our black pepper in a bottle. So this one you actually do cook some of this and you take it out, you do the sauces on it, you blend it up, and you eat it, and it sounds amazing. So that would be a good one. Now, this is the one I was going to do the spin on for you because I have the cauliflower rice in my refrigerator downstairs, and I'm like, this is the one I'm going to do right after this. I was reading through the recipe, and I'm like, this is the one I picked. I already have the cauliflower rice, and I can make it into like a mashed potato, super simple. So it says potatoes or your cauliflower rice. Many years ago, it says potatoes were a staple and still are today. Not in our house, but in some houses. They are best served as a side, and these rosemary mashed potatoes or cauliflower rice will quickly become one of your guilt-free go-tos. For the potatoes, though, you want to use 4 medium Yukon Gold potatoes, butter, oil. See, it already sounds really bad. So I'm like, I'm going to stick to my cauliflower rice. Oil, red onions, garlic, rosemary essential oil, and some milk. And I'll use my coconut milk, okay, and salt and pepper to taste. This says place your potatoes in a pot with enough salted water to cover, cook 30 minutes or until tender and drain. Add your butter to the potatoes and set aside. Add oil, garlic, and onions to the skillet and cook until tender. Mash the potatoes with the onion mixture, milk, rosemary essential oil, and salt and pepper to taste. And that is going to be the one. I will send you a picture if you want to see my cauliflower rice and how yummy it's going to be in the rosemary flavoring. I hope you didn't think we'd forgotten about the benefits of a sweet potato dish, though. I do like sweet potatoes better than potatoes, just because of the nutrient density. I'm learning a lot about food and health benefits, and the nutrient density of sweet potatoes is much better for our bodies than a regular potato. So just saying, if you want to look at the health benefits on potatoes, then stick to the sweet potatoes. Of course, you can adjust the spiciness to your liking with this dish, but this one has butter and honey, juice of 1 lime, ground allspice, and for our oils, cinnamon bark and ginger, which are yummy, and 2 pounds of orange flesh sweet potatoes peeled and cut into 1/2 inch thick slices, kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper, fresh thyme sprigs for garnish is optional, and the sweet potatoes can be prepared in advance and then reheated in the oven to heat through. This one you do cook. You coat the baking dish or roasting pan with the oil. In a large bowl, you stir the butter, honey, lime juice, allspice, cinnamon, and ginger oils together until blended. You add the sweet potato slices and toss to coat them, and then put them on the baking pan. Then you bake it for a little while. Then you transfer to the bowl and garnish with the fresh thyme leaves, and it sounds really yummy also. So I think that one sounds good. How about this one, a carrot and ginger rice with mint? This sounds very, very good. And it says that, you know how mind-numbingly easy it can be to think of rice? Well, now we're going to do it outside of the box ones. I think I read it backwards or something. So try this rice recipe to completely blow your mind and impress your guests. You use olive oil, jasmine rice, kosher salt, carrot juice, ginger essential oil, and finely chopped fresh mint. You're going to use the oven, you're going to use the saucepan, you're going to cook your rice, it looks like. Add your oil to the pan, coat it evenly, add the rice and salt, and stir frequently to keep it from burning. This is why I don't cook, because I'll probably burn it, because I'll be impatient. I want it to be done. And then you add your ginger essential oil and place the lid on the pan and place it in the preheated oven and bake it for 30 minutes. Remove from the oven and let it sit covered for 10 minutes. Remove cover and flip the rice with a fork, and you can stir in some chopped fresh mint and serve hot if you want. So that sounds good to you. But look at this one. Now this looks like the complete meal right here. Cumin pan-seared tilapia. Sounds good. Okay, so this healthy and delicious recipe will feed a family of 4 with 10 minutes of prep time and 10 minutes of cook time. Wow, I'd say that's a winner. The tilapia is got smoked paprika, brown sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, cumin essential oil, chili powder, black pepper, dried oregano, tilapia fillet, so I'm taking it's fish, right? In my smartness, I think that's a fish, and olive oil. So correct me if I'm wrong. You put it in the chat box and say, no, Rosie, tilapia is not fish, but it looks like fish to me. So how about the coleslaw? This is also part of this fast meal. Thinly sliced green cabbage, red cabbage, shredded carrots, red bell pepper, green onions, lime juice, honey, clove garlic, olive oil, cilantro, and then 1 toothpick, here it is, 1 toothpick of cumin essential oil, because it's so potent. So you just dip the toothpick into the cumin. So it's really great. Talks about how to cook your tilapia, and that is in a large saute pan or cast iron skillet on medium heat. And then do your seasonings with it, and then you toss up all the coleslaw stuff and add that dressing on it slowly and serve with the fish and enjoy. That's amazing. And of course, the recipe is on the doTERRA blog site. And the recipes, there's awesome recipes under there. So I hope you enjoy looking at those, get some good ideas. It's amazing how many people will avoid this one on the menu, though, but fall in love when they make it at home. It looks amazing to me. This perfectly sweet and spicy beef stew is hearty and delicious and can be made in the background while you take care of other things, and it feeds 4 to 6. So this sounds like a great one to do when you're having a very busy schedule. You need to have paprika, ground cinnamon, salt, ginger, essential oil. There's a lot of ginger ones they did tonight on this one. Crushed red pepper, ground black pepper, 1 pound beef roast for the feeding 4 to 6, tablespoon olive oil, chicken bouillon, diced tomatoes, butternut squash peeled and chopped, and then some cilantro. You combine a bunch of the spices together, And you then trim the fat from your roast and cut it into 2-inch cubes. You place the beef in the medium bowl, and then you add half of that mixture and toss it all up in there. And then you heat oil in a medium skillet and you brown the beef. Then you place the beef in a slow cooker. Combine 1 quart water, 1 tablespoon low sodium chicken bouillon, and pour over beef and cook on low heat for 4 hours. So this is kind of give you a chance to go clean the house and take care of your business that you need to do for 4 hours. Then you can stir in tomato, squash, and remaining spice mixture. Continue cooking until the squash is tender and sprinkle with cilantro and serve. I see a big theme here of cilantro and ginger tonight, so it sounds all good to me. Okay, now we have the Italian summer skewers. We're getting down to the end here, but this one looks like an amazing one to wow your friends with. I want all of the Italian foodies in the group to try this one and tell me if there is anything you'd change. It has balsamic vinegar, which I love on my salad, brown sugar, rosemary or thyme essential oil, a large cantaloupe cut into 1-inch cubes, 1 pound thinly sliced good quality salami, and 40 small mozzarella balls. That's the white part that you see there. It says you mix the balsamic vinegar with brown sugar in a saucepan over medium heat, stirring constantly until the sugar has dissolved. Bring it to a boil, reduce the heat to low, and simmer until the glaze is reduced by half, about 20 minutes. Let cool and add desired amount of rosemary essential oil. Onto a small cocktail skewer, thread prosciutto. How do you say that? You know, that thinly sliced meat. Mozzarella and melon cubes. Place on a serving platter and drizzle with balsamic reduction and serve immediately. And again, this one, the rosemary balsamic or Italian summer skewers, is a recipe in the blog. Brussels sprouts and asparagus. Those are one of my staples. I love putting these in the oven and cooking them. And this is a light but very filling recipe, and it will have even the most picky eaters begging for seconds. When we make these in our house, it doesn't fail. The minute they come out, people are coming from the rooms and going, "Hey, I smell something good." And we're like, "Well, it's just the Brussels sprouts and asparagus." They're like, "Okay, I'm getting some," and it always gets eaten, so it's amazing. But this calls for 1 bundle of asparagus, 12 ounces of Brussels sprouts. In fact, I think I'm going to have this with my cauliflower rice tonight. My rosemary cauliflower rice, Brussels sprouts, and asparagus. I saw those in the fridge earlier, so that sounds like a good dinner. 2 to 3 drops of essential oil and extra virgin olive oil and salt. I don't know if I read those. And then, of course, you'll need water. This actually is talking about boiling the water, having your Brussels, it says having, but when you're not reading the have and not half or something, it looks odd or sounds odd. But you cut the Brussels sprouts in half. How about that? And you add it to the water, boil for 4 to 5 minutes. While the Brussels sprouts are cooking, you heat up the skillet. You drain the Brussels sprouts and add extra virgin olive oil to the skillet. You add the Brussels sprouts, sprinkle with seasoned salt. Saute those Brussels sprouts for about 3 minutes. Then you add the lemon essential oil. Then you add the asparagus and toss. Cover the skillet and let cook. Toss a few times to coat the asparagus. Cook until desired tenderness. Oh, wow, such good ideas. So I know I'm going to make some dinner. I'm going to post some pictures and show you what I'm making if you want to see them. And if you're anything like me, you're probably pretty excited about what you learned and how to incorporate essential oils into your cooking. If you're not already enjoying the benefits of a wholesale membership with doTERRA, please make sure you ask me or ask the person who invited you to attend our webinar. And there's a really great video on helping you to know how to get involved with our company and how you can save much dollars in setting up that wholesale account and participating in our Loyalty Rewards monthly program. Now, the Loyalty Rewards program is not mandatory to have a wholesale account, and it's not mandatory to share either, but many of us, especially when you start cooking these recipes and add the oils to them, you'll be amazed at how many people ask you how they too can get involved with doTERRA and have their own essential oils to cook with, clean with, help with their health care, and all those wonderful things. So I hope that you have found value in the recipes that I shared here, and truly my life has changed dramatically by using the doTERRA essential oils. I was introduced to them 7 years ago, and I have taken full responsibility in sharing with as many people who will listen about the many health benefits that I have been privy to, and that many other thousands of other people I know of that have also experienced those benefits too. So with my life changing, I just find it very much a passion of mine to share with other people and help them get started too. So again, if you have specific health concerns and you want to have some help with deciphering how you can use those, then I invite you to ask us and we can help you with that. So thank you so much for joining my webinar tonight on cooking with essential oils. I'm Rosalie again, Blue Diamond Wellness Advocate with doTERRA. There's my diffuser going right back there. The little purple, that's the Lumo. Getting those oils. Oh, and there's one there too that's diffusing. I'm diffusing On Guard, so I help my immune system stay very healthy and on track. So I love living the doTERRA wellness lifestyle, and I hope you do too. And I look forward to any questions that you have. Every Monday night, I do a webinar, unless I'm traveling or something like that. Next week, we're going to be talking about, and yes, I know it's Memorial Day, but in the evenings, you know, I love sharing oils, so I'll still be doing a webinar, and I'm going to be doing it on pets and how to use these amazing essential oils with your pets and how safely to use them so that you are not hurting them, you are helping them to have their best wellness too. So thanks again for joining in, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening and the rest of your week goes well. So happy Memorial Day coming up. Bye everyone.